Thanks for tuning in to Murder Murder News, the true crime cult for the latest breaking news, murdery memes, TV reviews, podcast recommendations, and all things spooky. If you have previously been undecided about whether or not a true crime cult is the place for you, you should know that we are located in Canada. We can get you in. You can come pet baby goats and talk about true crime, all while safe and sound in Canada. We have healthcare, we aren't on the verge of a civil war, and we have baby goats. I'm television's Aurora Katie.
And I'm your online murder friend, Angelina. Cults are no fun alone, so don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and tell all of your true crime friends to join the commune at MurderMurder.news. This is the Week in True Crime. Under the light of the full moon on Halloween night, Quebec City went through a night of horror, as Premier François Legault put it. 24-year-old Carl Giroir traveled from his hometown near Montreal to Quebec City and hit the streets in a seemingly premeditated attack with the intention to do as much damage as possible. Wearing medieval garb and brandishing a samurai sword, he started swinging at random people in his path who were just minding their own business. 61-year-old Suzanne Claremont was killed when she was struck by Giroir's sword while standing outside for a cigarette near her home. Police were alerted soon after the attacks began, around 10:30 p.m., near the Chateau Frontenac Hotel. For the next 2.5 hours, police pursued the suspect on foot through the streets of the city's historic district as he continued to attack random innocent bystanders. Also killed was 56-year-old François Duchesne, who worked at the nearby Musée des Beaux-Arts du Québec. 5 more victims have been injured to varying degrees and are all under hospital care, but all are expected to recover. Authorities have ruled out terrorism as a motivation for this attack and say that Carl Giroir is not affiliated with any extremist groups. They've confirmed that he does have a history of mental illness, and apparently Giroir had shared his fantasy of committing an attack of this nature with medical professionals years ago. When police finally apprehended him near 1 a.m., he was barefoot and lying on the ground, hypothermic. He's been charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder and 5 counts of attempted murder.
Wow, that one is so wild. And after I just pitched y'all to come move to Canada, maybe reconsider.
Yeah, it's pretty freakish when you hear there's a stabbing and then you hear there's a samurai sword involved, and it sounds a lot wilder than you initially figure when you hear the headline.
Yeah, and just like the idea of him being on foot and there sort of being like a police chase for like hours where he's just like running around stabbing people.
Yeah,
like just,
yeah.
How terrible.
Like it's still taking 2.5 hours for them to apprehend him even though he's on foot. That's really intense.
And on Halloween, of course, it was a full moon.
Yeah.
Like the full moon always brings out some pretty bizarre behavior.
Absolutely.
But wow.
This takes the cake.
We need your help in identifying the murderer of 33-year-old Matthew Choi. Matt was sleeping when someone broke into his apartment in the Buckman neighborhood of Southeast Portland on October 25th and stabbed him repeatedly. First responders were called to the scene around 2:00 a.m. However, Matthew died of his injuries as they attempted to provide medical aid. Police are searching for a potential suspect described as a medium-build black male, approximately 5'8" to 5'11", who was wearing dark clothing and a blue mask. They are looking for any video from nearby residences and businesses to help identify a suspect. Matt was a beloved owner of Choi's Kimchi at the Portland Farmers Market. Matt and his mother Chong started Choi's in 2011, selling their popular kimchi jars at the market. The farmers market paid tribute to Matt's life this past Saturday, and you can tell just how much the community will miss him just glancing at his family's GoFundMe page. A friend left a comment saying, "My father recently came to visit us from California. For dinner one night, we had side dishes with rice and served it with the white Napa kimchi you gifted us. He couldn't stop saying how much it reminded him of the kimchi that came with the military rations when he served in the Korean Army. No doubt this nostalgia was the reason behind his smile. This was only a week ago, and it breaks our hearts that we couldn't share this story with you." If you know anything about Matt's murder, we encourage you to contact the authorities at the contact information below to try to bring some peace and justice to his family.
This week, we're watching the second season premiere of Real Life Nightmare on HLN. The second season launches on Sunday, and the first episode features the grisly beheading and unsolved murder of two grandparents living on Georgia's Lake Oconee. We had the opportunity to watch the second episode of the season, which will air on November 15th, and focuses on Kyron Horman's disappearance. HLN has really stepped up their game with shows like Forensic Files 2 and Very Scary People, so be sure to tune into Real Life Nightmare this Sunday at 10 p.m. Eastern. Also, be sure to check out MurderMurder.news for Elena Holman's review of the show and a breakdown of Kyron Horman's disappearance.
We are sorry to say that we don't have a podcast interview this week because we've been pretty busy having a full-blown election meltdown. And today when we're filming, we still don't know who the president is, so excuse us for being a little bit hairy today. But we do want to announce that if you need a good distraction right now, we would love to have you join our True Crime Book Club. It's our goal for our book club to only read books by BIPOC and LGBTQIA authors. We want your help in nominating some true crime books and true crime fiction books that could use a little signal boost. This month we're reading When No One Is Watching by Alyssa Cole. The book has been described as The Rear Window meets Get Out. The psychological thriller showcases how the gentrification of a Brooklyn neighborhood takes on a sinister new meaning. Come join our True Crime Book Club on Facebook, and we will host a Zoom call for a live discussion of the book on November 29th. We've included our book club invitation in the details below.
We love reading your comments, as long as you aren't a troll, and we wanted to thank Kelly for commenting on our Halloween special that she loved our costumes and has been humming Murder Murder News.
I get it in my head like 3 days out of the week from editing these videos.
Right.
I hear all the time like Murder Murder News. We also want to thank the lovely Candace Hampton for commenting that she would die if she saw someone approach her in a Michael Myers mask.
Thanks so much for tuning into This Week in True Crime with Murder Murder News. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button below, give us a thumbs up, and tell all of your true crime friends.
Help support Murder Murder News by signing up for our commune at MurderMurder.news, and your $5 sponsorship helps us keep the true crime lights on. It helps us produce our weekly show and helps support our amazing writers that keep you up to date with the latest breaking news every day on MurderMurder.news. And don't forget to follow us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and TikTok. See you next week.